Palmeiras once again dropped points as the home team in the Brazilian Championship and now goes 2 consecutive matches without a win at Nubank Park. This Sunday, a goalless draw against International 0-0 and a match with no creativity from Abel Ferreira's team. The Palmeiras coach took advantage of the press conference to give a little jab at the squad. He, who often in many ways ends up covering for the team, taking responsibility for Palmeiras' poor results. This time, he took the opportunity to poke at the squad, complained about the team's lack of creativity, also complained about the crosses and the lack of shots on target. Palmeiras did have attacking pressure. They took more than 20 shots, but they hardly posed any danger, except for a good chance with Roque. The number 9 took a weak shot straight into Matheus Cunha's hands. So Palmeiras, who could have left here with 3 points and maybe kept that cushion over Flamengo, will now have to keep an eye on their rivals' match to see if they can still maintain this 9-point lead over the team from Rio. Yeah, now talking a bit more about the details of the match, I'll start by admitting that I didn't understand the decision to put Flaco Lopez on the bench. Abel Ferreira once again pointed out that Flaco Lopez had spent that time with the Argentina national team and that he didn't have such an extended period to recover both mentally and physically after the World Cup campaign. But man, it's already been 2 weeks. He's the main player for Palmeiras, the top scorer, one of the main assist providers. It makes no sense to have the Argentinian on the bench. Of course, Ramon Sousa is in good form, Mauricio is in good form, and John Arias, I don't even need to mention, he has a guaranteed spot on the team, but still it's Abel Ferreira's job to choose between the two. In my opinion, Ramon Sousa should have gone to the bench, be an option in the second half and give Palmeiras a focal point up front, especially to try to fight for that second ball, right? Flaco Lopez, who is always very good at playing as a target man, was missed by Palmeiras in the first half. And now talking about Victor Roque, if on one hand I didn't understand Flaco Lopez being on the bench, Victor Roque being on the bench is completely justified. The striker hasn't scored a goal, just so you know. Today marks 5 months without finding the back of the net. The last time Tigrinho scored wearing the Palmeiras jersey was actually in the final of the Paulista Championship back in March against Novo Horizontino. So, the number 9, the most expensive signing in Palmeiras' history, the player who was directly responsible for scoring, is now extending his goal drought. Yeah, we have to be fair as well. Victor Roque, he has been dealing with ankle injuries throughout all of 2026. He was sidelined during part of the Paulista Championship, then got injured again against Jacuipense, this time in the Copa do Brasil. He underwent surgery on his ankle area still at the beginning of May. So, Victor Roque has been quite debilitated this year, but he's also not showing much quality on the field. When he gets the chance to play, he's not delivering. Today, again, a very weak performance. He was on the field for about 30 minutes without much connection, you know? You don't really see him talking much with Palmeiras' attacking players. He's always very intense, but it's not enough to just run, right? We need to turn intensity into quality as well. Yeah, now a few more details here from Nubank Park. It seemed like Palmeiras wouldn't have a full house, but in the end, almost 40,000 people showed up here at the stadium at Casa Palestrina. And 40,000 people who, instead of getting upset with Palmeiras' lack of goals, supported the team. During the 90 minutes, they sang a lot, especially in the added time of the second half. So Allianz Parque, now called Nubank Park, which has often been a problem for Palmeiras, was criticizing the players less, booing less, and demanding better soccer. Today it was more of a friend, a companion, but in the end they didn't get the result. Abel Ferreira also left the crowd at Nubank Park quite irritated. At one point in the game, he kicked a water bottle and made it explode. So Abel Ferreira was very agitated in the technical area once again, right? We know how Abel Ferreira is. All this intensity from the Portuguese coach this time ended up being taken out on the water bottle. Yeah, now going over Palmeiras week and the latest news, Gustavo Gomes will be re-evaluated tomorrow. He is still doubtful, and the tendency is that he will be out in the middle of the week against Cerro Porteño. Paulinho will definitely be out and won't return. So, Abel Ferreira still has problems setting up Palmeiras with some absences. The positive side is the return of Alexander Barbosa, which increases the options for this system with 3 defenders. So Abel Ferreira is still without his captain, but now with the only boost for the second half of the season back and available. Palmeiras will return to training tomorrow on Monday with activities on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, also on the morning of the game, before facing Cerro Porteño here in this same stadium starting at 7 o'clock. Here's an invitation to follow post-game coverage of the 0-0 draw between Palmeiras and International, as well as pre-game coverage for Palmeiras in Palmeiras' first leg Libertadores round of 16 match. Abel Ferreira.